We are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes. So will I. And when I do, you will most likely read about it on the internet. Anyway, hard things will happen to us. We will recover. We will learn from it. We will grow more resilient because of it. And as long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we will breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out. And I am a doctor now, so I know how breathing works.
Oh, hello. First things first, I have my hair pulled back and I don't want to talk about it. Second, I know that I just recently did a video on why you shouldn't hype up celebrities unnecessarily. But ever since Sir Candy Corn Lollipop Head expressed his disdain for Taylor Swift, where he tried to proclaim ever since he said that Taylor Swift wasn't hot anymore, that now everybody all of a sudden hated her, and everybody else was in agreement with him.
What happened?
No.
When actually the opposite is true. People were outspoken in support of Taylor Swift. I have no option but to graduate from being just a casual fan of Taylor to a full-blown self-identified Swiftie. That's right, folks, I'm a Swiftie now. I mean, I've always admired Taylor Swift in a more passive way. Like, I really enjoyed her music and always thought that she seemed cool, just based on what I could observe of her. Because I can't say that is the real her. I don't know her as a person, but public image-wise, she always seemed like a vibe. And there is just something about how just one woman, can get so many fake leaders and insecure men riled up just by simply existing. I think that is such an admirable trait that I can relate to. Not to put myself on her level or anything, because that is ick and nasty. But I do know what it's like to just simply trigger people just by existing, breathing, laughing, crying, pissing, shitting, burping, and all the other human functions. The point is, I know what it's like to garner attention that is rooted in extreme love or extreme hate. And Taylor Swift is rumored to have the same rising sign as me. You hush. I'm a cosmic witch. I talk about these things. If she is a Scorpio rising like me and we share the same rising sign, that may have a little bit of something to do with it, because we're both of the Pluto-Scorpio generation. If you perchance want to hear more about my astrology, star, moon ramblings, you should definitely check out my Substack newsletter that's linked to the description. But to add to the previous thought that I had before I went off on that astrology tangent, she most recently bought all of her old albums back from Scooter Braun. She now owns all of her music again. I mean, I don't know the ins and outs of it because I'm not in the music industry. I don't know how that works. Just because I live in Nashville don't mean I know how the music industry operates. But regardless, Taylor Swift's success as a chart topper, award winner, stadium concert selling out singer-songwriter is not the only thing that makes her an icon. She's a force of feminine power that has paved the way for modern norms of the woman experience. And her support for women artists makes her a positive girl's girl role model for all women, not just young girls. And her willingness to evolve and reinvent herself accordingly, with the passing of time of new trends being introduced, and fleeting public interests with not just her music, but it's also her personal branding that shows that she can grow along with her fan base and meet them where they're at. Something, in my opinion, I think is difficult for a musical artist to do. A lot of musical artists tend to want to grow out of their initial fan base, the fan base that they either garnered when they were really young or when they first got started. And I think Taylor Swift is one of the few artists who have been able to keep the interest and attention of the fan base that she garnered in the early days of her country music career. But she didn't become the admired legend that she is today with ease and grace. Like with many powerful women, it all all started with a good old conservative, restrictive, non-difference accepting background, which was her partaking in the country music scene during her teen years. When Taylor Swift first entered the country music scene in 2006, I think it was a pretty rare occurrence for a pre-social media world. Country music is not only male dominated, but there isn't really a lot of country teen starlets like the one she was. The level of fame that she achieved established her into teen idol status. And having teen idol status that didn't involve some sort of work with Nickelodeon or Disney was super uncommon back then. And you were one of the lucky ones if you didn't get your start in one of those entertainment companies, let alone the country music industry, which in my opinion, I think plays an even bigger role in her long-term career success that I don't really see a lot of people talking about. And besides celebrities like Miley Cyrus, Selena Gomez, and Demi Lovato, when we look at the majority of Disney and Nickelodeon stars in the present day, many of them are riding on nostalgia and only seem to be relevant when they're trying to recreate the past in some way. So I think Taylor Swift not having a Disney or Nickelodeon kind of beginning has really given her a leg up in maintaining a consistent branding while still being able to successfully change musical style direction and pivot as needed to keep the interest of the public. Now, of course, in the fetal stages of Taylor's career, people had always given her shit about writing love songs, as if no other woman artist that preceded her had ever written and performed love songs before. And even though I wasn't a fan of hers at the time, I remember thinking, whenever I'd hear someone shame her in her country days, I'd be confused as hell, like, why are you shitting on her in particular? Isn't that what other singers do? Why are you singling her out? But you know, it's just like I said in my last video. Women who are emotionally honest and brave enough to express it are very triggering to those who walk around with their panties up in a bunch and find social etiquette more comfortable than raw truth. So yeah, the hate for her songs about boys that she wrote and performed as a teenager. Stuff that clouds the mind of any teen girl experiencing hormonal changes and having certain life experiences for the first time. Was the start of the famous Taylor Swift projection, being branded with names such as Drama Queen and Boy Crazy. But by 2009, full pun intended, everything changed. 2009 was when Taylor made the jump from B-list white country singer to mainstream celebrity with the infamous Kanye West incident, where at the VMAs she won the Best Music Video award, beating out Beyonce's Single Ladies video, with Kanye West not taking the news lightly and jumping on stage to interrupt her thank you speech by expressing a passionate opinion that nobody asked to hear.
Yo, Taylor, I'm really happy for you. I'm gonna let you finish. But Beyonce had one of the best videos of all time. One of the best videos of all time.
And as she mentioned in her Netflix documentary, Miss Americana, it gave her the fuel to break out of this good girl image that country music had constructed for her, and eventually inspired her to start pivoting away from country music, where her personal beliefs were hushed and boxed in. And when you look at it in retrospect, you actually can see the shift from the tone of her songs post Kanye West incident, being less romantic and being more incorporative of themes regarding self-growth, revenge, and personal redemption. I don't know if she's ever mentioned this publicly, but it seems as though she wanted to have her own narrative and not be recognized as just the poor little country girl that Kanye West dissed publicly on stage. And did this by experimenting with more mainstream pop sounds in her music, which could help further advance her career to become someone who would be known and remembered for the great music she makes and not an internet meme. And as far as history goes, it worked. Look at what the legend she is now. She's up there with the bigwigs. And I would say that the 1989 era is where Taylor officially became an established pop diva. Like the official polarizing turnaround. Going from just experimenting with pop sounds to like actually changing genres of music. And not only was it the beginning of her icon status, it was also the start of her turning haters into lovers. Let me explain what I mean by that. With 1989 and then on, it seems like she started taking the public's general negative consensus of opinions about her and playing into the archetypes of whatever kind of horrible person that people would claim she was. Like trying to prove to the naysayers and the critics that they're right. that she is that girl that they say she is. It's like a reverse psychology game that she plays with the public to get them to pay attention, tune in, and want more. Like what she did with Anti-Hero, purposefully painting herself as the villain.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
And turning it into a total banger that you can kickbox to. That's highly specific because it's a true story. I went through a phase when Anti-Hero came out. I was all the time doing my kickboxing workouts to it. And you know what? If she were still doing country music today, she wouldn't have the freedom to do all that. Because of country music's cookie cutter artistry, they want all of their artists to project the same image and have the same sound in their music. The small town country girl or boy that sings about riding in the back of a truck, walking along the Mississippi with a Coca-Cola in hand on a sweet summer night. And actually Taylor explains this in Miss Americana. It's this particular kind of constrictive image branding and musical artistry found in country music in particular.
We're ashamed the President of the United States is from Texas.
So yeah, after that, individual artistic expression in the country music scene became very limited. Ironic, but not surprising, how that exactly mirrors growing up in the southern United States.
His favorite underpants.
But it's quite the contrast when you look at the pop music industry and you see there's a bigger variety of images and sounds within their artists. Billie Eilish, Ariana Grande, Miley Cyrus, Chappell Rowan, Sabrina Carpenter, Doja Cat, Adele, Lady Gaga, Lana Del Rey, and Taylor herself. Like, they all have different looks, different musical styles, different branding. Now, do some of them have similar sounding music? Yeah, but there definitely is a more diverse representation in pop music when you compare it to the country music scene. And when Taylor switched to pop music, she was able to express her true artistry that subsequently made her a household name. But now, let's talk about her signature power of poetic justice. She's known for speaking very openly about sexism in the industry, how women in music are constantly pitted against each other, questioned for their ambition, or being criticized or silenced for being too political. And it seems that Taylor has been no stranger to that.
As a female in this industry, some people will always have slight reservations about you. Whether you deserve to be there, whether your male producer or co-writer is the reason for your success, or whether it was a savvy record label. It wasn't. I saw that people love to explain away a woman's success in the music industry.
Now, it's not her outspokenness itself that is noteworthy, because she's not the first woman to speak out about misogyny and high standards. I mean, it's not a groundbreaking concept that Taylor Swift came up with, but it's the natural consequences that comes from someone of her fame and status, doing that as publicly as she does. Because she's generally hated by most straight white men and pick-me women, and they take up an alarming population in society. The hyper-feminine themes of her music make her an easy target, and notice how she doesn't really have that much of a response, at least a spoken one. She just writes songs and addresses the backlash in her songs.
I became a mirror for my detractors. Whatever they decided I couldn't do is exactly what I did. Whatever they criticized about me became material for musical satires or inspirational anthems. And the best lyrical examples I can think of are songs like Mean, Shake It Off, and Blank Space. Basically, if people had something to say about me, I usually said something back in my own way.
Or what about when she re-recorded all of the music she recorded with Big Machine Records? As a fuck you to Scooter Braun, who wouldn't give her the rights to her own music. After she switched from Big Machine to Republic Records, Taylor Swift has her own unique way of letting her music do the punishing and defending herself. And naturally, people get served a nice hot plate of karma as a result of coming for her. You can't tell me she isn't a witch. I don't know what type of witch she is, but she's definitely one of us. And when you also make note of her making history, with the Eras Tour becoming the highest grossing concert in history, it's hard to argue with the fact that she is an iconic genius and will have a rock solid career for decades to come, regardless of the future hot water she will get into, because she's Taylor Swift. It comes with the territory. She rises up from the dead. She does it all the time. Where there's a Taylor will, there's a Taylor way. Love her or hate her, you gotta respect the work ethic and the adaptability that she possesses, because without it, she would have felt completely off the radar after making the switch from country music to pop music. The combination of her consistent branding, keeping up with the milestones of her audience, and her calculated business moves is what gives her the staying power that has made her last a long time. And I sure as hell am going to the next concert of hers, cause I still never got my refund from the 2015 scam ticket of the 1989 show. And of course I want to see the bomb ass show and have a cathartic feminine experience having my soul be spoken to. But I will never not hold a grudge about that fake ticket I got almost 10 years ago. I'm permanently pissed off about that. Were any of you personally victimized by Regina George in the same way? I remember the Heirs Ticketmaster drama and it being a big deal. Let me know if you received fake tickets for that show or any other Taylor Swift show. Because I think Taylor Swift is the artist whose shows have the most fake tickets sold due to her popularity and high consumer demand for show attendance. So be careful when you buy Taylor Swift tickets, y'all. And only buy from the venue even if they are expensive. That way you know for sure you're getting a real ticket. But for now, I gotta sign off and go listen to folklore and cry some more. Thank you for watching me unpack my newfound admiration and respect for Taylor Swift. Let me know how you officially became a Swiftie in the comments. Tell your Swiftie conversion story. Like this video by giving it a thumbs up, share with your Swiftie bestie. And if you and I are vibing, join my little witchy coven that I have here going on YouTube by clicking that subscribe button. Or I'll send Taylor after you. Just kidding. Maybe. Anyway, be sure to subscribe and turn on those notifications so that you can be notified when I return to YouTube to run my mouth. Bye.